Yeah. Radio Rahim here with Daniel Jacobs in Brooklyn on Saturday night. You will be defending your title and fighting for the bragging rights of your town. Yes, how important is each one of those to you? Are they equal footing for you, or is one more important than the other?
I think the victory is ultimately more important to me than fighting for the bragging rights for Brooklyn or fighting for the WBA championship of the world. But that just serves as extra motivation. Obviously, Brooklyn is one of those cities in those boroughs where you have a lot of culture and a lot of, like they say, bragging rights. And, if you dominate in Brooklyn, you're the man. So obviously that serves as extra motivation. But, to secure my legacy, to secure me as a solidified middleweight in the world, a victory is a must.
Now, just to go back to the Brooklyn thing, because it's been talked up quite a bit, you're actually from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Peter is a transplant. Does that upset you? Do you feel like, this should be your title hands down already?
And that's why we're going to definitely secure that victory because, we can't have any outsiders claiming to be from Brooklyn. If you're born and bred here, it might be up for grabs. But, it's just jokingly, Peter Quillin is a good guy. And, Brooklyn is one of those cities and boroughs where we open everybody with open arms. But to be already claiming the championship, but to already be claiming the title of Brooklyn, man, you're going to have to earn that. And you're going to have to go through this true Brooklyn night.
There's plenty of reasons for you to be agitated in this fight. You're the champion, but Peter's the favorite. Right. When you look at that setup, what do the odds makers in Vegas not understand about this fight?
I guess that what they can't see is the skills. I guess they see my, or me probably being knocked down in the past, and they see the power of Peter Quillin and things of that nature. They automatically think he's going to probably stop me or knock me out. But you have to actually get to the opponent to do that. Peter Quillin is a much slower opponent than I've seen in a while. So come fight night, you're going to have to be able to land those shots in order to get the results that you want. And if he's going to be in there missing and winging and swinging and for the fences and don't land those shots, it's going to be a real entertaining show for me because I get to open up.
Now, people have made a lot of your boxing ability, but you've got more knockouts than Quillin. Yeah. No one's talking about your power. Are they underestimating your power? And do you believe like a knockout is in the cards for you possibly?
Absolutely believe the knockout's in the cards. What people don't understand, Peter's been hurt before. He's been dropped before. He's definitely been in a position where he was losing the fight, and with the Gabriel Rosado situation, in my opinion, he was almost close to being stopped himself. So, I think his power overshadows his inabilities inside the ring, and it's up to me to expose those things inside the ring come December 5th.
Now, when a fighter's been knocked out, there's always a mental challenge, a hurdle to overcome, to get back, to get the confidence, to know that, you can stand in against the best. Talk to me about that journey for you. How significant was that experience? Is it something that you just put in the back of your mind and not think about, or is it something that you work through?
It's something that you work through, and it's something that you learn from. At the time where I got caught with Pirog, it was an error on my behalf. It was a move, a defensive move that I did when my hands were down. So now I'm more defensive minded. Now my hands are tight, and if I'm up against a puncher, then I know what to expect. It's not like I'm fighting a guy. And a prime example, it was a perfect situation for me to get flash knocked down with Sergio Mora because, with a guy who I disregarded I won't say him as a fighter, but I just disregard his power and his lack of ability once I hurt him, right? And then once I hurt him, I wanted to just completely knock him out. And when I went in there carelessly, I got flash knockdown. And that serves as a great tool for me because now I know that with a guy who can punch, I definitely have to keep my defense tight and I'll definitely be more defensive-minded. That was definitely just a mislapse on my behalf and me coming in carelessly, but you won't see a careless Daniel Jacobs come December 5th.
Now, the middleweight division is impacted. There's some big names there, and people are looking for the Canelo Triple G fight. Canelo's not even a middleweight, doesn't want to fight at 160. You're holding a title at 160. Do you feel like you've been overlooked in that division, and if so, why?
I've been overlooked, but necessarily so because I'm the new kid on the block. I just became champion. I still have to prove myself, and that's why I'm facing guys like Peter Quillin, and hopefully if we can look impressively, get more bigger and better names. But it's just ultimately about proving yourself. You can't come in here and just, in the sport of boxing, or any sport rather, and just claim to be the man. You have to prove you're the man, and that's why I'm going to prove that come Saturday night.
And lastly, how do you match up against the other title holders at 160? They're both known as heavyweight or heavy-handed
Right.
punchers, powers their whole game. How would you match yourself up against them? And is that the kind of shot you can take, or is it a kind of situation where you need to be a boxer, need to stay away? Can you absorb those kind of shots?
It's all about adjusting. It's all about adjusting. I deserve to be at the top middleweight division, and I'm going to prove that each and every fight. You get hit, you get hurt. You have to understand how to cope with that and go through it. I'm not saying, well, I mean, I think people are making this big deal about my chin. I have not a suspect chin. You get hit at the right places and you go down. Everyone has been down in their career, trust me. But at the end of the day, it's all about coping with that and learning how to avoid those shots and ultimately implementing your skills inside the ring. And that is a very superb thing that I have. My skills override everything.
Daniel Jacobs, good luck Saturday night at the Barclays Center. He faces Peter Quillin. Radio Rahim with Danny Jacobs.